A little blurb about the story of creation. Okay, when the Allah, who's Jehovah and Yahweh, decided to make a viceroy on the earth, he sent an angel down, and he said to the angel, he says, go down and grab a handful of dirt from the earth and bring it up so that I can make a viceroy for the earth. So the angel goes down because they're obedient, they have to obey God. And the earth cries out, oh, we seek refuge from you, from Allah. So the angel doesn't know what to do, so comes back to Allah and is empty-handed. So he sends another angel and gives the same command, the same thing happens. So this time he calls the angel Death. He says, Death, come here. Go down and scoop up some dirt from the earth. And the angel of death did, and brought it back up, and thus Adam was formed. So on the day of resurrection, only one soul is going to be resurrected, and that's Adam. Because we all stem from the single soul of Adam, split the atom. Those aren't accidents. There's nothing called an accident on this world. Okay, it's a matrix. It's a test. Who do you serve? Where do you put your commerce? Is your commerce in the Quran? Or is your commerce in the bank? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of misconceptions going on about who Muslims really are. If you listen, if you go on my YouTube thing, Consternation 1962, and go way back, you'll find the first chapter, and you listen to your chapter, and it's done in segments, so it's a long section, but I tried to do it as best as I can so you can hear it yourself. And it actually says Christians, Jews, and Muslims are going to go to Eden. Okay, so we are not like the Christians and Jews who are saying our way is the only way. We're saying, come and worship in the faith of Abraham. Come back. You know, the church itself, right in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, Jesus is saying, who's also Esau, if you're listening to the Quran, anytime Esau is mentioned, that's Jesus. He's mentioned more times than the Prophet Muhammad, just so you know. And he's the Messiah. And what the Messiah does, the Messiah, when Adam is commanded by God to call his children destined for hell, they come out of all the earth. They're like Gog and Magog. So they're like all over the place, coming out of every nook and cranny, and the earth is shuddering, and earthquakes, and comets are flying, and the Quran says comets are to kill devils, just so you know. It also says in the Bible, it says in the Book of Wisdom, it talks about well-aimed shafts of lightning like spears. So the believers aren't being shot at. So a believer can technically walk even if meteors are crashing everywhere. So, like, we don't have anything to fear, okay? Because many people say, oh, Jehovah, please help me, or oh God, please help me. And God helps them, and then they turn around and they go, thanks, Jesus. And then all of a sudden they got wrath on them, and they have no clue why, and it's because Jesus is the Messiah. He's the reason why he's the second Adam, and Christians don't know this, is because when he was formed, in the same way that God sent an angel down to the earth to gather up some dirt so he could form a man, he sent again an angel down to the earth to gather up some dirt to form Jesus, who's Esau, who's the Messiah. And so Jesus was put in Mary's womb, and he came out talking, what you Christians don't know. And the Last Supper, the famous Last Supper, you know what that's really all about? And you can read that in the Quran, and it's verifiable. It sure makes more sense to me. The disciples go, basically, we worship Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah. We worship the one God who has many names. And they asked for Allah to provide them a meal. And so magically right then and there, a whole meal was provided, which was the original picture talking about it. But then the jinnis and mankind got in there and twisted around trying to keep people away from real God. And that's why you have so many problems in Christianity. Real Christians believe he's the Messiah. Real Christians follow his teachings. Real Christians get him. Okay, but he's not God. He's the second Adam. Okay, and we're of Adam. We are not the daughters of God. Okay, God does not favor his daughters. That's a Christian misconception the jinnis and mankind made up to deceive you, to keep you from the real God. There's only one God, and I'm telling you, Nibiru's coming, and you're going to start seeing winds up to 400 miles an hour. Okay, it is real, and it's called the Purifier. And it's mentioned in the Hopi prophecies. It's mentioned in pretty much all the prophecies. You see in hieroglyphs frequently. You see the spirals. You see pictures of hands with what looks like leaves on them, which isn't. It's actually light coming out of their hands. You see the creatures mentioned in the book of Revelation that fall out of the meteor, the key that the angel opens, and it talks about these creatures that have teeth like a lion, face like a man, hair like a woman, body like a horse in armor, and a tail with a stinger on it. And their stinger stings people for 6 months or something like that. And those are actually drawn in hieroglyphs if you look in a lot of them. So history repeats itself over and over and over, but this is the last time. So basically, there's the story of the spider's web. How fragile is the spider's web? And like hurricanes can go by and all kinds of things. But people who really believe in God, who basically go, unto God I go. And they, if they have food in their house and people are walking by after a disaster and they look hungry, bring them in and feed them. And that's what Jesus was talking about. That's a real Christian. Because I'm a real follower of Jesus, okay? I really get it, what it means to be his bride. Because when I died, what I saw was two things that really stand out strongly. Was what looked like a man sitting on a throne with a Muslim beard sticking straight out, and I was holding the hands of Jesus, the Messiah. And it was like I was looking over there going, okay, if you're here, then who's that? And it was Jesus that brought me to Mecca in a vision, and I met Abraham. And I'm telling you, contact any mosque and be very polite and ask if you can get a free Quran. Give them a little time, because there is a place where you get these little free Qurans. You can also contact the TV show in Toronto, Let the Quran Speak. They'll mail you a free Quran, and you'll know the truth, because when Adam was created, we were also all created at that point. So we heard the whole story, and then we died, and then over time we've been reborn into our bodies now, but we still retain the memory of the story. So when you hear the story, and when you read the Quran and you're actually reading the story of yourself, you're going, oh my, I know this is true. I know this. I knew this was true. So Assalamu alaikum, which means the peace of Allah, the peace of Jehovah, the peace of Yahweh, the peace of God be upon all the believers, because very, very, very soon the purifier will come, and its light will purify you. Amen.